Chapter 26. The Brother I Chose. Lorenzo, POV. I can't sleep. The house is quiet, but inside me everything is loud. My thoughts, my anger, my doubt, all of it pounding like fists against steel walls. I stand in my office with the city lights bleeding through the tall windows, and Michael's name sits like poison in my mouth. I shouldn't hesitate. I should drag him into this room, put a gun to his head, and force the truth out. But hesitation is already there, sitting like a shadow I don't want to acknowledge. I pour a drink. The whiskey burns down my throat, but it doesn't clear my head. A knock. One of my guards steps inside. "Sir, Matteo, the man you interrogated, he's dead." I already knew he wouldn't survive long. Guilt doesn't touch me. What touches me is the reason he died. Fear of Michael. Good, I say. He won't repeat lies. But the guard hesitates. "Sir, it wasn't a lie. He insisted Michael was seen at the docks after the shipment was hit." I wave him away. When the door shuts, I grip the edge of my desk until the veins in my arm strain. Michael, seen there, laughing with the others tonight like he owns the place, like he hasn't betrayed me. 2 years ago, his laughter, now twisted in my ears, was once a comfort. Flashback, 2 years earlier. I remember the sound of pavement scraping against my palms as I dove behind a car. Bullets scattered everywhere, slicing sparks from metal. One of our runs had gone wrong so fast, too fast. I was younger, still learning to fill my father's shoes. The streets were waiting for me to trip. They wanted my blood, wanted to see me fail. A gun jammed. I cursed in anger and fear of losing. Then came the footsteps. It was fast. A stranger slid into cover next to me, breath heaving. "You're Lorenzo?" he asked. I nodded, gun still stubbornly jammed. Before I could speak, he grabbed it from me, smacked it hard against the car frame. It clicked. "There, try now." He leaned out, fired 3 clean shots, each one dropping a man who had been trying to kill me seconds ago.
"Come, quick."
Not a hint of fear. I barely had time to question who he was when a bullet whizzed toward me, and he moved right into its path. He took the hit to the shoulder with only a grunt. I shot the last man dead. When the dust settled, he laughed through gritted teeth. "Guess I didn't make the wrong choice following you." Blood soaked his shirt, but he pushed himself upright, offered a hand. "Michael," he said, as if that explained everything. I took his hand and pulled him to his feet. "You saved my life," I said. He chuckled. "You're welcome." Back then, I didn't understand that trust can be a weapon sharper than any knife. He stayed, became a soldier, and then my right hand. A loyal dog, I called him. The only person I ever let close after father died. He ate with me, trained with me, and guarded my back. He gave advice I listened to. And when he looked me in the eye, I believed him. I believed him. Now I watch him from the balcony, overlooking the main hall. He stands with the others, joking, smiling, not a sign his hands are covered in blood. Not a sign he may be feeding information to my enemies. He looks normal. Too normal.
It makes me sick.
Every time his laughter echoes, something cracks deeper inside my chest. Because if Michael is a traitor, then everything I built on trust was a lie. I turn away before I put a bullet in his skull right here, right now. I stalk the hallways until I reach the door I shouldn't look at tonight, her door.
Asa.
She's part of this storm, and I don't even know what to think. It would be easier if she was guilty, if she was cruel, manipulative, a liar like the rest of them. But she sleeps with fear still clinging to her lashes. She wakes ready to fight. She cries only when she thinks no one is watching. That's not the behavior of a mastermind. It's the behavior of someone who is thrown into hell without warning. And that terrifies me more than her guilt ever did. Because if she's innocent, then I've been the monster all along. I return to my office. My hands shake once, just once, before I force them still. I pick up an old photograph of myself and Michael. The night we secured our first territory together. We looked like brothers. Like we owned the world. I want to tear it in half. Instead, I put it face down. Weakness. That's what this is. What she has made me. My father's voice returns like a ghost. Better to rule alone than trust a knife to stay out of your back. I should have listened. Lorenzo's phone buzzes on the desk. A message from the captain of security. Surveillance on Michael has begun. No signs yet. I stare at the screen. He's too careful. Too practiced. Only someone well-trained hides that well. I walk to the mirror. My reflection stares back, jaw clenched, eyes darker than the night outside. Not the man my father raised. Not the leader my soldiers need. Not the monster Asa fears. Someone worse. Someone unsure. I whisper, low enough that only the mirror hears it. If I was wrong about him, what else have I been wrong about? The thought digs deeper than knives. Because the only other thing I may be wrong about is her. And if I let myself believe in her innocence, I'd burn the whole world to protect her. Chapter 27. Silent Leashes. Asa Daniels. Days pass without a single answer. Not about why the guards outside my door changed, or about why the music box on my nightstand has disappeared. Not about why the silence in this house has turned razor sharp. I feel watched. Not the way Lorenzo used to watch me. Hungry, angry, unsure of himself. This is different. This feels clinical, measured, like he's taking notes I'm not allowed to see. The only contact I get is breakfast, placed on the table by someone who won't meet my eyes. My books are gone. The garden walks canceled. The only space left to breathe is the floor of my room.
So I dance.
Bare feet with my hair loose. I take a deep breaths as I dance until my muscles shake, until my chest burns, until I feel like I can slip out of my skin. The knock on the door comes just as I spin mid-turn. Open. A quiet voice orders from the other side. My breath stalls. That voice. The guard pushes the door open and steps aside. Lorenzo steps in, hands behind his back, expression unreadable as the door closes. We stare at each other. His gaze goes to the sweat on my collarbone, the tremor in my hands, the uneven rise and fall of my chest. Something in his jaw ticks. You're dancing again, he says. I swallow. It's all I have left. He doesn't argue. Instead, he crosses the room and stands behind me, too close. His eyes meet mine in the mirror. Dark, cold, controlled. When you were little, he says softly, did you dance because you loved it, or because someone expected you to? I blink, confused by the sudden question. My mother, I whisper. She wanted perfection. Lorenzo nods once, as if he already knew. You're still dancing for someone else. His voice drops. Even now. I turn around. Our faces are inches apart. I'm dancing, I say, to feel like myself again. He studies me, and for a heartbeat, he looks almost proud. You shouldn't be afraid to use your feet, he murmurs. My chest tightens. Because lately, I've been walking like I'm on eggshells, like stepping wrong might get me crushed. He sees it. Of course he sees it. He steps away and studies the room like it's an evidence board. His eyes land briefly on my bruised knuckles. I curl my fingers, but it's too late. Anything you want to confess? He asks. The way he says it makes my stomach twist.
No.
His eyes were narrow, not angry, but instead it was testing and searching. Then, to my shock, he turns toward the door. Your garden walks will resume tomorrow. I blink. What? He doesn't answer. He just leaves. And I'm left standing there, unsure whether I've been rewarded or placed on a leash so soft I won't notice it tightening. Lorenzo De Luca. She thinks I'm giving her freedom back. She has no idea. Every step she takes outside now has new eyes on it, eyes loyal only to me. With cameras installed, guards replaced, and routes changed, the garden is no longer a privilege. It's a test. If she tries to run, I'll know exactly who helps her. Control doesn't always require chains. Sometimes it looks like kindness. Sometimes it looks like a gift. The men I switched out this morning didn't question me. They know better. But the two I removed, both assigned frequently near Ace's hallway, asked too many questions when I dismissed them. Loyalty is loud, but betrayal whispers. In the surveillance room, I watched the feed from the other night. Michael passing her door. My own silhouette hidden in the shadows. And Asa. Shaking, crying, breaking. Pathetic, I mutter. But I don't know if I mean her or myself. A soft knock interrupts my thoughts. Sir, one of my lieutenants says. Your new schedule is arranged. More guards, additional tracking. And we've installed hidden audio in the garden walls.
Good.
Leave me, I say. When the door closes, I exhale. This is how you protect an empire. You cut away rot before it spreads. You watch. You listen. You wait. Weak men rush. My father taught me that the night he died. I lean back, staring at the wall of monitors. One shows the hallway outside Ace's room. It was empty and still, too still. She's learning to hide her habits. She used to pace. Now she sits quietly on the edge of the bed, staring at the floor like she's trying to read answers in the cracks. She's adapting.
Good.
Survival shapes truth. But Michael, I switch feeds, watching the training yard below. He's laughing with the other men, throwing punches and slow sparring. Perfect posture, steady breathing, relaxed. Too relaxed. If he's afraid, he hides it well. 2 years ago, I saw him take a bullet for me without flinching. A stranger then, and a brother later.
But now?
I'm not even sure anymore. My chest tightens, but I ignore it. Just then, the door to the control room opens again. It's Raoul, my most vicious interrogator.
He bows slightly.
We've traced the shipment ambush route, he says. Someone had internal access. Internal. Inside my house. Inside my circle. Any names? I ask. Raoul hesitates. Just whispers. Nothing's solid. Whispers kill more than bullets ever will. Keep digging, I say. He nods and turns to leave. Oh, and Raoul? He pauses. Watch what Michael does when he thinks no one notices. The man smirks. Already on it. When he's gone, I rub my eyes. The ache behind them is constant these days. Ever since I heard Asa whisper his name. Michael. There was something in her voice. Something unfinished. It twisted under my skin like barbed wire. Was she crying because she feared for him? Or because she missed him? Both answers are poison. My father used to say, affection is the first blade slipped between the ribs. I thought I was immune. Outside, something flashes across the camera feed. Asa. She moves to the balcony, fingers gripping the rail as if she can feel the wind begging her to jump. Her face is turned upward, eyes closed, breathing hard like she's drowning in air. For a moment, I forget to breathe at all. Then, a sudden spike of sound on the audio feed. A single, broken sob.
My jaw locks. No.
I don't want to hear her cry again. I don't want to remember how her voice sounded whispering another man's name. I shut off the audio. But when I stand, my hands shake. Asa Daniels. Morning comes too soon. The guard at my door clears his throat. Garden privileges, 10 minutes. My heart leaps.
Why now?
Why after so many silent punishments? I follow him down the hallway. Every guard we pass watches me like I'm a puzzle missing a piece. When we reach the garden gate, I step into moon-pale sunlight and freedom once again, even if it's fake. I walk slowly, pretending not to notice the new guards on the rooftop or the cameras tucked inside stone carvings. Lorenzo might be cold, but he isn't stupid. I try to breathe, try to feel something other than confusion. Then I see him, through a window across the courtyard, standing behind glass like a ghost watching his own funeral. Lorenzo. His gaze pins me in place, it makes my stomach flip. He doesn't move, he just watches. It feels like an accusation, like a plea, like both. I hate that I can't look away. Lorenzo De Luca. She lifts her face to the sunlight, but she keeps her eyes on me. For a heartbeat, the cameras, the suspects, the whispers, they all fade. There is only the shape of her in the garden, breath fogging like smoke in cold air, chest rising with nervous control. In all this there is one truth, I know. I can't get her off my mind, no matter how much I try to see her as the enemy. I might as well be doomed, no matter how much I try to be in control. Chapter 28. Whispered Conspiracies.
Camilla.
I don't like waiting, but I force myself to sit here anyway. The light in this restaurant is low, flattering, the type that makes secrets easier to say. My fingers tap against my wine glass. I hate feeling out of control. When Michael finally walks in, he looks paler than usual. Jumpy. Like someone slapped a ghost across his face. "You're late," I say as he sits. "I know. Things changed." His voice is low, rushed. "Lorenzo replaced 3 guards today." My nails dig into my palm. Already. One of them was mine. Cold irritation crawls through me. Convincing him to kill the ballerina was pointless. But changing guards? I shake my head. He's onto something. Michael leans in. Shipments are failing, contacts disappear. The Dons are pissed and they're losing money, so he is definitely onto something. I feel the shift, something finally giving way. What exactly are they saying? I keep my voice even. That Lorenzo's distracted. Michael's jaw clenches. That maybe he's too busy chasing a dancer to run an empire. A bitter laugh pushes out of me. They're not wrong. He stares at me like he's waiting for permission to breathe. "So," he asks. "So," I say slowly. When a king stumbles, someone steadier steps forward. "You?" His eyes narrow. I inherited this empire before he did. My smile tastes sharp. I know the walls better than he does. "And Asa?" I feel myself go still. "The ballerina. The problem. She's not a threat," I say. "She's a distraction. There's a difference." A distraction Lorenzo refuses to get rid of, Michael mutters like a jealous boyfriend. "Everyone has a weakness," I whisper. "Sometimes we don't have to remove it. Sometimes we just take advantage of it." Michael is quiet for a long moment. "This is dangerous," he finally says. "No," I correct softly. "This is necessary." When we stand to leave, I touch his arm. And if Lorenzo smells betrayal, I lean in, run.
He swallows hard.
"Michael." I can't breathe until I'm outside. My chest feels tight like someone wrapped wire around it. The city is loud, but everything inside me is louder. Lorenzo changed the guards. He never changes guards unless he feels something, not until someone close to him is shifting. Camilla is already trying to pull strings. The Dons are whispering. Money is disappearing. And I'm stuck between all of them like a damn pawn. If I don't make the necessary move soon, I'm dead no matter who wins. Lydia, ballet studio. I hate how quiet the studio feels without her. It echoes differently. Like something's missing and everyone can feel it but won't say it. "Asa isn't coming back," I snap. "Someone should take her place." The instructor looks exhausted. "We don't replace dancers because someone is jealous." "I'm not jealous," I spit back. She disappeared. We're weeks from the second phase. I've been here every day. I deserve this. Whispers ripple behind me. He steps closer, voice low. "You're talented. But you weren't ready when she was." My cheeks burn. Humiliation feels heavy. I clench my jaw. "You'll regret this." He doesn't answer. I storm toward the door, but not before I hear someone whisper. "She was the best." I slam the exit so hard the mirror shakes. Asa's father. The police line rings forever. When they pick up, I'm already shaking. "My daughter has been missing for weeks and nothing has been done," I say. "Sir, we don't file immediate reports for adults. She could be throwing a tantrum or need some time to herself. She missed her audition." I cut in, voice cracking. "She wouldn't do that. Something happened. Maybe she needed space." "She didn't take anything. Her phone is off." I pace. "Please check hospitals, arrest records, anything." There's a pause I hate. "You can file officially in another 48 more hours." I slam the phone down so hard the table rattles. I grip the edge, breathing hard. Her photo sits on the fireplace, tiny, smiling, hopeful. "Where are you, Asa?" My voice breaks. The house answers with silence. "Camilla." My heels click against the pavement on my way to the car. The city feels alive tonight, watching me, waiting. I unlock my phone. My fingers hover for half a second. Lorenzo changed guards. He's paying attention.
Good.
But he's looking in the wrong direction. I type. "We need to talk." I send it to the crown emoji contact. My phone chimes. I sink back into the leather, exhaling slowly. Lorenzo has to fall. He can fall in love. He can fall apart. Either way, I'll be standing when he hits the ground. War it is, I whisper, eyes closing. And I smile. Chapter 29. The Gathering Storm. Michael. I don't remember the last time my palms sweated this much. Maybe when Lorenzo first pulled me into a circle, when I learned what loyalty actually meant here. But this feels worse. This feels like standing in the middle of a street with headlights barreling toward me. The Dons chose a warehouse neutral ground. Cold metal shelves, crates stacked to the ceiling, and just enough shadows for paranoia to climb under your skin and nest there. Their bodyguards line the walls, arms folded, guns obvious. They always make threats visible. I stand alone in the center, 6 men seated like a council around a makeshift wooden table. Their suits are dark, crisp, too expensive for the smell of chemicals and dust choking the air. More than 3 shipments lost, Don Castori says, tapping fingers thick with rings. Millions gone.
Contacts dead.
Routes compromised. Every word hits me like a punch. I swallow, but the anger in their eyes doesn't soften. I've been tracking routes, patterns, I say. It's coordinated. No shit, one growls. We didn't come here to hear excuses. Another leans forward, voice low. We came to hear solutions. A bead of sweat slides down my spine. We need to tighten routes. Change drivers. Increase surveillance. And who's supposed to handle that? Castori interrupts, voice dripping with insult. Our boss is busy with his little ballerina. My jaw tightens. I don't defend Lorenzo. That's not my job here. But the phrase little ballerina makes something inside me twist. She's a distraction, another Don says. And distractions get men killed. The room hums with agreement. My heartbeat stumbles. So take them out, someone says. One destroys the girl. The other destroys the throne. Castori finishes. Silence drops thick and suffocating. I feel my pulse in my throat. You're talking about treason. We're talking about survival, Castori corrects. Money lost. Power slipping. Respect eroding. Something must be done. And you want me to do what? My voice comes out strained. A rustle behind me. A soft click, someone's gun's safety flipped off. Castori's gaze sharpens. We want eyes. Information. Every change Lorenzo makes. Every weakness. Every guard rotation. My mouth dries. My heart tries to claw out of my chest. I am becoming a pawn to more interests than I can handle. And if I say no? He smiles. There's no warmth. Then you stop being useful. I don't ask what happens to useless things. I already know. Before I can answer, a smooth voice cuts through the tension. Camilla steps out from the shadows like she was born there, calm, poised, lips painted with a quiet promise of violence. If the king is blind, she says, the kingdom needs new eyes. A few Dons sit straighter. And if the king loses his crown, she adds, someone who knows the shape of it should take his place. Castori hums, amused. You always had ambition, girl. And you always had fear, she replies, smiling. A few chuckle. Some shift uneasy. My stomach drops. She's weaving herself into their power web, delicately, expertly. You want assurance? She asks them. I'll give you assurance. Lorenzo is slipping. Emotionally compromised. Unfocused. I've never seen him like this. It's a blade disguised as observation. And Michael here, she continues, sees everything. Heat crawls up my neck. My skin turns cold. Give us time, she says softly. And I'll give you opportunity. A pause. A beat. Castori slams his palm on the table.
Fine.
But we want results. Real ones. And soon. I exhale slowly. Too slowly. Camilla's eyes find mine. There's a message there. Don't fall behind. Or get trampled.
ASA.
Something feels wrong. I can't explain it clearly, not even to myself. But the air in the mansion feels tighter tonight, like someone wound a cord around the entire estate and pulled.
Hard.
Guards walk in pairs now. Their eyes keep sliding to doors, windows, shadows. Hands rest near guns more often. Conversations are short, clipped. I watch from a hallway as two new guards take positions outside Lorenzo's office. I've never seen them before. Bigger, colder eyes. Lorenzo slams his office door louder than normal. His voice inside is sharp, cutting through whatever poor soul he's speaking to. I hear the words shipment and missing and punishment. My stomach knots. When Lorenzo's furious, the entire house breathes differently. I press my back against the wall and close my eyes. The hum of tension is constant. Even the walls feel nervous. Footsteps approach. I quickly move, pretending to examine a painting. Keep her away from the West Wing. A guard mutters behind me. Orders. My pulse stutters.
Why?
I slip back to my room, heart racing, mind spiraling. The storm outside beats against the windows, lightning briefly exposing the sprawling grounds. I pace. Something is shifting. Something big. And if storms come, walls fall. Michael. The meeting ends, but the dread does not. When I step out into the alley, rain drenches me immediately. It is exactly what I need to cool the panic clawing its way up my spine. I'm halfway to my car when my phone vibrates. The number is unknown. I answer. Nothing. Breathing. Slow. Patient. Yes, I whisper. I understand. I'll see you soon. When I end the call, my hand trembles. I don't know who scares me more, the Dons, Camilla, or the voice from the other end of the line.
Asa.
I wonder why he ordered me to have dinner with him. It is quiet, too quiet. Lorenzo sits at the head of the table, jaw clenched, fingers tapping steadily. His eyes are distant, calculating, irritated like he's fighting a battle I can't see. He doesn't look at me once. A first. When a guard enters to whisper something in his ear, Lorenzo's features darken. He slams his cutlery down. Handle it, he snaps, standing abruptly. My breath catches when our eyes finally meet. His is filled with rage, fear, and focus. Then he's gone. And the silence suffocates me.
Camilla.
I wait until my room is empty and the hallway quiets. My phone buzzes once, 3 brief vibrations. The Dons agreed.
Perfect.
I stretch out on the velvet chaise near my window and stare into the storm-dark sky. Rain streaks down the glass like veins. I open the message thread with the crown emoji contact. Therein, 3 dots appear. Waiting. Thinking. Then, we move soon. My pulse flutters, but not from fear. If Lorenzo thinks he's losing control, he'll tighten his hold. And when he tightens, something will snap. Good. Let it snap. I type back. She'll break him first. The response comes immediately. Then you'll crown what's left. Lightning flashes outside, washing the room in white. My reflection smiles at me in the glass, sharp and wicked. Let the storm come. I've been waiting for thunder. Chapter 30. The Secret Meeting. Michael. Rain hits the pavement like spilled beads, bouncing and rolling into the gutter. Streets glisten beneath flickering lamps, and every wet shadow feels like a watcher. I tighten my collar and step into the restaurant. It's warm inside, steam from soup pots, garlic, a faint hum of jazz. Conversations are quiet and private, the kind that evaporate when ears approach.
He's already seated.
Corner booth. Back to the wall. He reads a flimsy paper menu like someone who wasn't raised in places like this. He looks up once. I sit. You hesitated outside, he says, and oh, greeting. Just an observation. I needed to be sure no one tailed me. A beat passes. You're either cautious, he says, or nervous. I'm surrounded by men sharpening knives. I think nervous is appropriate. That earns something close to interest. What shifted, he asks. Lorenzo replaced multiple guards in the West Wing. He's watching his perimeter. Shipments keep failing, and the Dons are getting impatient. And Camilla? She's making promises she expects people to bleed for. That's useful, he replies quietly. Ambition creates openings. I lean in, lowering my voice. She wants the throne. He almost smiles. Everyone wants something. What about you? I asked. He studies me, eyes unreadable. My interest, he says, is seeing their world crumble before they even realize it. My stomach tightens. And you need me where I am. For now. He slides a folded note across the table with one finger. Observe the names and report changes to me. Don't do anything out of the ordinary. Do you expect a shift? I expect pressure to break something. And the girl? He asks. That lands heavier than the envelope. She's just a distraction, I say. For you or him? I swallow. It doesn't matter. It might, he says. Everything personal eventually becomes professional. I think she has. He stands, buttoning his coat. Keep me updated on developments and be very careful. I need to be careful. I don't want to arouse suspicions. You know better than to allow that. He leaves without looking back as the rain swallows him whole. I sit a moment longer. I hear my pulse loud enough that I fear others hear it also. I tuck the note deep into my jacket and head out the back door. The storm feels colder now. I drive without thinking, letting the city roll past. Neon bleeds into puddles. My mind circles the same truth. Lines are blurring. Too close. Too real. When I pull over in a narrow side street, I kill the engine and breathe. I close my eyes. Silence. Then a tap of emotion hits my ribs like a warning. I open my eyes. Unknown to me at this moment, far across the street, tucked beneath a broken streetlight, sits a large black SUV. No headlights. Tinted windows. Engine low and steady, watching, not moving, not following me. As the storm outside rattles the windows, steady and relentless. I abandon sleep and stare outside, allowing the wind to blow through me. I see Lorenzo out in the garden in the rain. He seems restless, as he paces around the garden muttering to himself. He suddenly looks up in my direction, making me freeze on the spot. Then suddenly, he walks back into the building. He stands near the fireplace, jacket draped across the chair, collar undone, sleeves rolled. Heat from the flames paints gold along the sharp lines of his profile. He turns when he senses me. You're awake, he says, voice deep, softened by something I can't name. Couldn't sleep. His gaze drops to my hands, fidgeting, then rises to my eyes. Something unreadable flickers there. Storm keeping you up? Something like that. I take a timid step closer. The room feels warmer near him, like he bends the temperature. You shouldn't wander at night, he murmurs. Is it dangerous? Everything is dangerous in the wrong moment. Lightning flashes white. He doesn't look away from me. He's too still, like he's holding a thought in his teeth and deciding whether to bite down. You look tired, I whisper. Too much on my mind. Shipments. I ask before I can stop myself. His jaw flexes. He steps closer, a step too much, and my breath stutters. We are inches apart, warmth rolling between us like quiet fire. His hand rises, fingertips grazing along the side of my face. My pulse leaps to my throat. He watches it, watches me. If I were smarter, he says low, I'd send you back to your room and lock the door. And you? I'm not smart tonight. My lips part. He leans in, breath catching on mine. The world narrows to the space between our mouths. Something inside me tips forward. His phone rings. The sound is sharp enough to cut the moment clean. He steps back, throat working. He answers. Yes. Lightning flashes again. His eyes sharpen. You're following him? Silence. Keep distance, he orders. If he steps out of the city, I want to know. Another beat. No mistakes tonight. He ends the call and grabs his jacket. He looks at me once, something conflicted flickering across his features. Then he's gone. The door closes behind him, soft but final. I exhale shaky breath I didn't know I was holding. Storms are loud, but the quiet afterward is louder. Unknown SUV rain drums on steel. The black SUV idles beneath a crooked street lamp. Windows so dark they reflect nothing. Another vehicle passes by, splashing water. The SUV doesn't move. Inside, a man watches a lone figure in a dark coat walk away from the restaurant. He lifts a phone. We have eyes, he says to pause. He left on foot. We'll tail the car he gets into. Another pause. Yes, boss. The SUV rolls forward, slow and silent, turning into the wet night. Not after Michael. After the other man, rain swallows the sound of the tires, leaving only the storm behind.